Hello learners. Today we will be learning and discussing about Human Resource Management, Block 3, Performance and Compensation Management, under which we will talk about performance appraisal, career development, training and development, and compensation and reward management. Let's discuss performance appraisal. Performance appraisal is a very common word. It is a systematic and objective way of judging the relative worth of an employee in performing his task. It helps to identify those who are performing their assigned task well and those who are not, and the reasons for such performances. The objectives of performance appraisals is mainly to review the past performance, to assess the training needs, to help to develop individuals, to audit the skills within an organization, to set the target for future performance, and to identify potential for promotion. Performance appraisal process starts with establishing the performance standards. After establishing the performance standards based on certain techniques, it goes to measurement of actual performance, where the evaluator or the appraiser evaluate on the basis of the past performances. Then it is communicated to the performance expectations, comparison of actual performance in the performance standards. For example, the performance criteria or the performance standard is to achieve the goals on some specific target, and an employee has done the work done by them is on a little lower. For example, if a performance criteria or the performance standard is set to be work done within a month, within 30 days, and an employee completes their work beyond 30 days, or maybe the performance is very good, it is considered to be good if they complete their job or the work done before the set timeline. This is the actual performance. Then it is, if there is any problems, any issues on that, the corrective action is taken care of after doing the entire performance appraisal. The benefits of performance appraisals. These are some of the techniques which shows the benefits of performance appraisal, that is critical incident method, checklist, graphic rating scale, forced choice method, bars, group order ranking, individual ranking, paired comparison, management by objective, and 360-degree appraisal. Critical incident method is known to be, it is benefit the performance appraisal in a way that the employees are evaluated and appraised on the basis of the specific incidents given to them. Checklist, as the name it is self-explanatory. It is based on the specific checklist given by the appraiser on the basis of the actual performance of an employee. In graphic rating, the evaluator or the appraiser set the graphs. They set the rating of the appraisee or the employee. Forced choice method. There are specific close-ended choice where it is, for example, yes or no, better or good, outstanding. So these are some of the forced choice methods where they're forced to write only the specific terms. Behavioral appraisals rating scale is bars. Then is group rating, group order ranking. Here the employees are appraised within the groups. Individual ranking is based on the basis of their individual actual performances. Paired comparison is done when the two employees are compared for the same specific job. This is normally happens in terms of for the purpose of promotion. Management by objective, where the employer or maybe the manager and the subordinate set the objectives and the goals combinedly. 360-degree appraisal is very well applied in most of the big organization. There the feedback is taken from the about the employee from the colleagues, from their superiors, from the people who are working under subordinates, or the people who are working within the same area, same functional areas. Next word in performance appraisal is performance counseling. The main objective of performance counseling is to help the employee to overcome his weakness and reinforce his strength. In this sense, it is development process where the supervisor and the subordinate discuss the past performance of an employee. It helps that specific employee to improve and become more effective in future. Appraisal report serves as a springboard for discussion. Counseling provides an opportunity to the supervisor to give feedback to the subordinates on the basis of the performance related behavior as well. When we talk about the performance counseling, it is primarily based on the feedback given by the supervisors or the managers. Feedback is considered to be as an effective tool in performance counseling and, of course, in performance appraisal as well. It can be both negative or or positive. Whatever be the feedback, it has to be communicated. It is not just an opinion, which is backed, but it is backed by data. In other words, it should be descriptive, not evaluative. It focuses on behavior rather than individual. It is timely. Delayed feedback is neither helpful nor effective. The conditions of effective counseling. When we are saying performance counseling, when we are talking about the feedback and the climate is created, the environment is created of an openness and a trust between the employer and employee or the subordinate and supervisor. When the people are tense and hostile, attempts should be made to counsel and help rather than critical. The counselors should be tactful and they should be helpful rather than being critical or maybe the fault finders. The subordinate should feel comfortable to participate without any hesitation or inhibition. The focus should be on work related problems or difficulties or any issues which occur related to the work behavior or individual behavior of the people who are working with them. It should be devoid of all the discussions on salary, rewards, and punishments. Any discussion on compensation changes the focus of an employee from performance improvement to the reward and performance wages. So, when we really talk about the counseling, everything should be intact and there should be trust and openness between the subordinates and the supervisor. When we talk about the performance appraisal, it is directly relates with the career of an employee. So career path is decided after the appraisals, which help the employees to move up in the organization. A clear career path keeps employees motivated and engaged within an organization within the work portfolio. Career growth aids in salary planning, training, and leadership development. The assessment of promotion is mainly to evaluate the employees for promotions and for the managerial or leadership roles. It not only involves the test like writing reports on management problems or maybe on the situations or the case studies and giving presentations out of that, also handling the emails and making decisions. So for the promotion, the evaluation on the strength and weakness is done on the basis of the managerial capabilities of employee so that they can be able to handle the team as well as they should have the problem solving and decision making skills. Types of career path. One is same job but on a higher position. New role with more responsibility. When we say same job, same functional area, but the designation changes, maybe from area manager to a regional manager or regional manager to general manager. Here the job or the title remains same, salary and benefits improved. Even the position improved. Position here we mean only the designation. In an academic institution, it is assistant professor to associate professor and then to professor level. The new role with more responsibilities refers to the promotions, which includes the different duties, more of authorities, better pay and benefits, more reward system, and with sometimes new designations as well. For example, an engineer advancing into project management. There are certain problems which are very common in doing the performance appraisal. First is the most common is leniency error. This error happens when an evaluator sometimes are too lenient. Maybe they rate too high. They always feel that it's okay to be, give the good remarks, or maybe they are very strict. So the extremes leads to the inaccurate appraisals. Halo effect. A positive or negative impression in one area influence rating in all areas. That creates a biasness. Similarity error. This is an error which occurs when the evaluator rates others based on their own traits, favoring those who resemble them. Low appraisal motivation. Evaluators may avoid giving honest feedback if poor rating could harm an employee's career. They are more concerned about the employee individual level of career. Central tendency. Some evaluators, it seems that they avoid extreme ratings. They place everyone in middle and reducing the accuracy. Recency versus primary effect. Recent performance overshadows overperformance, leading to misleading appraisals. So sometimes, for example, if an employee hasn't worked for the entire financial year and they work from only in the performance is only evaluated and decided, the performance appraisal decided in the last performance in last quarter of a year, that is called recency effect. Effective performance appraisal is not only supervisor's responsibility, but it also provides a training support to an organization, or not only to organization, but also to the supervisors as well. When we say supervisors' responsibility, supervisors must take performance appraisal seriously, as their own evaluation will depend on it. Training support is about the providing supervisors with structured trainings on writing performance reports and conducting appraisal interviews. Job effective job evaluations and forms conduct job evaluations. They create clear job descriptions and design role specific appraisal forms. Let's make it performance appraisal very simple. The appraisal system should be easy to understandable and easy to implementation. Ongoing monitoring has to be done on regular basis. It should track employees' progress after appraisals and provide supports wherever needed. Regular feedback is very important. It relates with the continuous review, continuous updations, and the monitoring of the appraisal system, also to keep relevant to specific job roles and skills of an employees. The important term is potential appraisal, which is not very much known, but yes, most of the organizations are concentrating on potential appraisal rather than on performance appraisal. Potential, if we, as a word, if we defined it as latent but unrealized abilities. There are many people who have desire and potential to advance through the job. They want the opportunity, they are look out further, they have that desire to work better in an organization, to operate at higher level of competence in the same type of work. The potential is one that appraisal should be able to identify and develop because of the knowledge of the job. This requires an in-depth study of the positions which may become vacant. Looking carefully at the specific skills and new positions may demand, and also taking into consideration the more subjective areas like qualities required. The indicators of potential is a sense of reality. Then is imagination, power of analysis, breadth of vision, persuasiveness. These all indicators refers to as an to evaluate and to find out the potential of an employees, what exactly they really wanted to be in, and what is their inner potential to get into the job. Next is when performance appraisal. Let's see what is career development after the performance appraisal is. Career development or a career is a sequence of positions when a person holds over a time. It involves the changes in values, attitudes, and motivation as it grows. Individuals can shape their careers through learning and adaptations due to certain reasons. It not only helps people to explore and choose their career options, but also set the goals and work towards job satisfaction. It assesses the skills and interest of the employees and plan them to growth and opportunities within the work area. The objectives of career is to career path. When we talk about the sequences of the career, it attracts and retains the right persons in the organization. It maps about careers of an employee suitable to their abilities and their willingness to be trained and developed for higher positions. It not only ensures a better use or the optimum use of the human resources, but also ensure the stable workforce by reducing labor turnover and absenteeism. It utilizes the managerial talent available at all levels within an organization. It improves employees' morale and motivation by matching skills to the job requirements and by providing job opportunities for promotion. It ensures the promising employees get experience that will equip them to reach responsibilities for which they are capable. It not only provides guidance, it also encourages the employees to fulfill their potential. It helps to achieving higher productivity and organization development. Career planning is very important for an individual, and it is very important for an employee to align their skills along with the organization goals. It maps career growth from entry level to retirement level. It will mainly used for skills supervisors and managerial roles. It focuses on identifying, developing, and utilizing employee talents, balances organization goals with employee aspirations for mutual benefits. A career is a structured journey of work experiences leading to higher status, responsibility, and rewards. It helps employees understand their future growth opportunities within the organization. It is a continuous process aimed at improving both individual and company success. So career planning has certain stages. The first and the foremost stage is known as early stage, where an individual just begin the process of self-directed career planning. It happens just after completing the formal education in any area. Then comes to the progress age. This progress stage within the particular area of work where skills and potential are developed through experience, trainings, coachings, counseling, and performance management. This is nearly within 5 years of their work experience. Mid-career stage. Mid-career stage refers to a stage where the good career prospects, while others may not go so far, they are going to get and at least feel that they have. This is a mid-career stage where the designation generally found as managers, assistant managers, or maybe nearly managerial stages. Later career when individual may have settled down or whatever level they wanted to be reached to, both are beginning to the concern about the future. This is a later career stage is the fourth stage, which is leads to the early retirement stage as well. The designation we find in later career stage are somewhere like general managers, vice presidents, or maybe a little above on that, or maybe even the CEOs and CXOs. End of the career with an organization. This we also called as retirement stage, where they are in a phase of disengaging themselves by being given the chance of the work to part time, or maybe most of the time, if they work within the same organization, for a longer period, they are approached to be as an advisor of their organization. So these are the five main stages which is relate to the career. Career anchors. The career goal of a manager is to develop qualities of interpersonal, analytical, and emotional competence. People use in this anchor want to manage people, that we call it managerial competence. Then is functional competence. This anchor is for technicians or maybe who are related with a technical background, where the continuous development of technical talent is required. These individuals do not seek managerial positions. For example, the quality, R&D, production, shop floor people. Security. The anchor for security conscious individuals is to stabilize their career situations. They often see themselves into the particular organization for geographical location. For example, a bank employee wants to stick to the nearest bank branch, which is very near to their house or maybe their, where they are living, so they don't get into the promotions, they don't get into the appraisals for the transfers or for the higher salaries. Creativity. Creative individuals are somewhat entrepreneurial in their attitudes. Autonomy and independence are another career anchors, where the independent people is to desire to be free from organizational constraints. They value autonomy. They wanted to work on their own timings with their own will, and they wanted to be their own boss. Most of the autonomy and independence can be seen in freelancers, advisors, or maybe sometimes within the work which gives them sometimes to work from their home, or maybe the remote jobs as well. Technological competence. There is a natural affinity of technology and desire to work with technology whenever possible. Some people have so much inclination towards the technology that becomes their career anchor. Components of career development is bifurcated into two parts. One is career development program, and second one is career planning process and activities. Career development program refers to the internal career assessment, which is normally done by HR department along with the immediate managers and supervisors. Career opportunities. What are the career opportunities available within an organization or maybe outside the organization based on the skills and the qualification of an employee? Employees needs an opportunity. What actually the employee need? Is it more towards the designation? Do they have thirst for being on a better designation, or they are looking something on a transferable jobs, maybe with a higher packages or higher salaries? So that depends. That creates the entire career opportunity of particular employees. Then is career planning process and activities, which includes organization's HR inventory, which includes the entire database of an organization. They have all the skills, they have all the databases of the skills, education, certification, or related, which help them to find out the right person when in needed in case of transfers or promotions. Employee potential for career planning. Here, the employees are seen on the basis of their potential or the skill for that specific job profile. Training and development programs plays a very important role in career planning for the upgrowth, upskilling, and regrowth or refresher trainings. Age balance and career path. It depends what kind of job profile a person is into and what kind of profile they want it to be. For example, most of the companies prefer young employees aged between 20 to 30 for their field visits, whereas they want above 30, 35 years where they do the desk jobs or they do the in-house work. Review of career development is very important, which helps not only the employees but also the organization to create the entire career assessment process. Career counseling. It is done normally by immediate managers, along with sometimes the organizations have the industrial psychologist and counselors within an organization, which helps not only the employees but also the organization to develop the career path for their existing workforce. Succession planning. Succession planning is an ongoing process that identifies necessary competencies, then work to assess, develop, and retain a talent pool of employees in order to ensure the continuity of leadership for all the critical positions in an organization. The purpose of succession planning is to identify and to develop the people to replace current incumbents to key positions for the variety of reasons. First is superannuation, where the employees retire because they reach at a certain age, for example, above 60. Resignation, when the employees leave the current job to join the new job. Promotions, when the employees move upward in the hierarchy within the organization. Diversification, it refers to the employed of the new activities, new jobs, responsibilities, and authorities along with their existing ones. Creation of new positions. Employee getting placed in new positions at the same level. It happens when an organization is restructuring, or maybe they are into expansion or mergers, acquisitions, or maybe if an organization have a new project to work on, then they create a new position for an employees within an organization. That is called succession planning. There are certain limitations of career planning which is not suitable. Career planning is not suitable for small organizations. It is mainly meant for the big organizations. Limited effectiveness for certain workers. For example, the people who are into the from a technical background, they wanted to stick to their background only. They don't want to shift even to sometimes the managerial positions as well. Family owned business challenges. There are a number of family owned business challenges like having their own home, children education, family responsibilities, etc. Long term uncertainty. Political influences where favoritism and nepotism plays a role in career planning, where anybody within an organization, for example, place their own son or daughter within the same organization on a better position over and above the other employees. Lack of integrated personnel policy. Difficulty in identifying suitable candidates. Inadequate manpower planning and wage structures, which is not possible in small organization most of the time. But yes, in big organization, manpower planning, if not done correctly, then it limits to the career planning. And the wage structure has to be as per the industry norms. Limited opportunities for vertical mobility, weak performance evaluation system. Most of the organizations don't have a specified full-fledged appraisal systems on their own. It is based on the immediate response, feedback of the supervisors only. That also resists on the career planning. Difficulty in writing job descriptions and conducting attitudinal surveys. Lack of employees' trust in surveys and career planning effort. It's been seen that most of the employees doesn't believe in having surveys done by the HR department or related department for the career planning, because sometimes based on that surveys, the implementation hasn't worked in past. Training and development. Training and development plays a very important role in performance appraisals and career planning so far. Training is the most important function that directly contributes to the development of human resources or the workforce of an organization. Training is a short term process utilizing a system and organized procedure by which personnel acquire technical knowledge and skills for a specified or a definite purpose. Training is very essential because technology is developing continuously. It is changing at a very fast pace. So, due to technological advances and related issues, training is very important to upskill for the regrowth of their own employees. Systems and practices get outdated very soon these days. due to new discoveries, new innovations in the technology. It is not limited only to the technical side, but also to the managerial and behavioral aspects. For example, if we go back to 10, 15 years back, the recruitment processes was not done by the psychometric testing, but now the most of the organizations are doing psychometric testing. There are a psychometrician within the organization. There are psychology counselors within an organization. These are the behavioral aspects. And the managerial aspects, if we really talk about the appraisal methods, maybe a direct feedback was enough before, but now 360-degree appraisal systems, and the managers and the supervisors are trained for to take the 360-degree appraisal system for the effective feedback of the employees. Importance of training and development is for entire organizations, the employees who have joined, who are already working, the existing employees as well. New employees, it benefits the new employees in terms of absorption within an organization about the policies. It is now this training and development for the new employees is known as induction training, where they are aware of the policies, the rules, the regulations, the processes, the job description about the people working within an organization. Training and development increases efficiency. Technological advances, as we have discussed, it is, as we have quoted, it is very important. Refresher training due to advancement in managerial or technological competencies is very important. Job transitions. In case of any job transition, the training are required to get into the job effectively and efficient, and to do the work efficiently. Monitoring development can be done through training and development. For example, a training program to look after the training impact of training program of an employees, the impact on their behavioral aspects. If we wanted to measure, we can do the pre-test or post-test analysis, where we monitor the development, where we monitor the assessment of an employees as well as a training program as well. Effective training system is the training and development departments are L&D workforce is very working very rigorously on making the entire training systems, keeping their LMS updates. They have their own panels, own dashboards, their own training systems all over within an organization to take care of each and every employee's upskilling, refreshers, or maybe for the regular development processes of an employees. Well-planned training results in reduction in wastage and spoilage, improvement in methods of work, reduction in learning time, reduction in supervisory burden, reduction in machine breakage and maintenance cost, reduction in accident rate, improvement in quality of products, improvement in production rate, improvement of morale and reduction in grievances, improvement in efficiency and productivity, reduction in manpower obsolescence, wider awareness among participants, and larger skills and personal growth. So overall, when the training is well planned, when the training programs are effective, it not only reduces the accident rates, it not only improve the personal growth, but overall the productivity of an employee, organization, and entire organization system increases parallelly. It not only increases the quality of product, but it also helps in reduction of wastage. So most of the manufacturing organizations are running zero wastage due to just because of the effective training programs within an organizations conducted by the experts on the production systems and processes. Identifying training needs. There are certain sources where we find the how why the training is required. What is the need of a training at that point of time? After the performance appraisals, the reviews and reports have been submitted, and to fill out the gaps. For example, during the appraisal, a manager find one of his subordinates as don't have an good business communication skills. So here the training need arises to conduct the training for that particular employee or maybe a group of employees on the business communication, because they are responsible to create to make the reports on the dashboards. They are responsible for the reporting system. They are responsible for creating the maintaining the database, on handling the emails and the queries of the vendors, etc. Potential appraisal, here the potential of an employees, the gap again is can be identified, and the training can be conducted on the behavioral aspects based on which can be aligned with the work area. Job rotation. Once a job is rotated, once a change in the job profile along with authorities and responsibilities, of course, on a higher position, the employees are trained for that particular area, maybe even the department, if in case the departments has changed, then also the training need is required. They are trained for that particular department, or maybe if sometimes even the geographical location changes, to adapt the culture, to adapt the policies of that particular region, there also a small 1 day training or 2 days trainings are required. Continuing education. Nowadays, organizations are very particular on the learning and development of their existing employees, not only to increase the productivity but also to retain the good employees within an organization. So, continuous education is very important. It continuous education not only relates with the technology or the managerial competence, but also it is focused. They are focusing on the behavioral competence as well. For example, doing the sales skills capability training, one need to be trained continuously on the training objections, handling the or handling the sales objections, or maybe what is there new in the industry, new in the market, how to pitch with the current consumers, how to deal with the consumer behavior. So continuous education is very important. It can be done in any ways. There are certain methods of training which are analysis of an activity, which is also known sometimes as situational analysis, analysis of problem. Here, the problem is given, and the trainees are, and do the analysis of that particular problem. They give their own insight and the in-depth insights of that problem. Analysis of, or maybe how to deal with that particular problem. Analysis of behavior. This is all about how, if, for example, if a manager has given a situation where they need to handle the tough behavior, or maybe a person in a team, how they'll analyze. So this is all about analysis of the situations, all the activities or the problems given to them. The only point is to train them on certain specific areas where which are high at the time of training. It maybe it includes a real life examples, or maybe sometimes the hypothetical examples. Brainstorming, a buzzing, counseling, card sorting, checklist. There is a checklist of all the traits which is important during the training. Committees, comparisons, conferences, consultants, task force, in basket exercises, incident patterns, informal talks, where they even talk on at a high tea, and they give the suggestions. They talk about, this is more of an informal training, but it is sometimes builds up the trust and the compatibility between the employees as well. Interviews, observations. problem clinics. Most of the organizations have problem clinic where they go whenever they have they arrange the counselors or consultants or maybe the point of contact where they and there are certain trained people for that particular problem clinics. Research, role playing, self analysis. Here, the self assessment methods are used like SWOT analysis or Johari window, simulations, skill inventory, slip writing. Here, the trainer write the slips and they maybe give sometimes. How to deal with that situation, or they give the multiple choices and then they need to find out the best of the choice out of that. Studies, surveys, it is very common, and the test. But overall, the classification of training method, irrespective of in the previous slide, it is on the job and off the job. On the job refers to OJT, that is on the job trainings, where the trainees are on real life scenarios. They are on the job and then they are trained with the real life situations. Vestibule trainings. Vestibule training are mainly at the manufacturing centers where they have the specified centers. They have the specified demos on that particular machines or tools. The centers are most of the skill centers are also the training centers where all the demos of that particular machines are there. The trainees are trained on that. Simulation exercises, demonstrations and examples, and apprenticeship. These are all the training methods where the trainees and trainers are on shop floor. They are on real life situations and or maybe a demo which is very close to the real examples. Then there are off the job methods. Off the job methods, first is lectures, or maybe we also call it classroom trainings, which is led by the instructor led programs. Conference method, where the experts and the other people sit together and they talk about that on one specific topic. Seminar on or team discussion, that is also done on the basis of the employees. Case discussion. Case discussion is done on the basis of case study. Role playing. Role playing is done when two people work in plays different roles, and they demonstrate to other people. For example, selling a particular product, and one becomes a manager and another becomes a subordinate, and they work accordingly as if they are the managers and they are the employees, and manager is talking about the product training. So this role play is generally conducted in classroom trainings. Programmed instructions. Some the instructions are given to the trainers and the trainees both during the training program. The instructions given to the trainer is generally on the trainer guide or facilitator guides, and the instructions given to the trainees are known to be as a participant handbooks. Training evaluation is very important because unless it is not evaluated, how can a L&D or a trainer can be able to know what about the what is the impact of that particular training? When we say the area of evaluation, the dimension of context is pre-training factors like preparation, learning motivations, and expectations. It involves the learning objectives. It involves the learning outcomes. It involves how motivated or the trainees are for that particular training. In when we talk about the training specifically, curriculum is very important for that particular training program. It has to be within the context, and content has to be within the context. Specific events like classroom training or e-learning, online, hybrid, or maybe in the methods what we are using, specific sessions Sessions include not only the lecture series but also the interactive activities, the classroom activities, or maybe online activities can be done. It is from the event point of view. Again, training management is very important. So training evaluation is not done only on the training event but also the management. What were the training facilities, how was the trainer, how was whether the trainees were satisfied or not satisfied of the training program. Training as a process, if we wanted to evaluate, then evaluator has to keep in mind about the learning climate, the training methods, and the trainer team effectiveness is equally important. When we talk about the outcome, the participant development and the conceptual development is seen, it is evaluated on these basis. Then there are learning skills, then change of values. If there is an impact of a training, it definitely shows the higher side of the change in values or the attitudes or performance, whatever we are going to measure. Then change in behavior, of course, if any specific, as I gave an example of business communication, after training, if it is evaluated that there is no change in the behavior in the, or there is no change in the business communication, they are communicating in the same way, it means it shows that training was, maybe there was some after evaluation we found the content was not correct as per the job profile. So there we need to know, we know about the training content on the basis of the chair. If there is no change in the behavior, then how, whether we can be apply application of that particular skill which is for which we are, or a trainee is trained. If we see from organizational context, it is more of an outcome, because all the training programs leads to the goal or an objective of the organizational development. There has to be change in job effectiveness, team effectiveness, and overall organization culture and overall organizational effectiveness. Again, before as we done in pre-training, there is also a context of post-training. After the training, what was the cost, what was the ROI of that particular training, what is the organizational support, whether the employees were actually involved in that, whether the organizational factors which were hindering, or if there were any factors which hinders the use of the training, where, so all these areas of evaluation are done under specific methodologies. One of the best method of evaluation of training and development program is Kirkpatrick model. Every organizations have a specified format of training evaluation, where it is also sometimes known as training feedback forms, which is filled by the trainees, or on the basis of the trainers, content, facilities, or basically after the training. But pre-test and the pre-training factors are done by the training organizers only, and post-training factors in context of that can be done by, again, by the same people, or maybe the experts in L&Ds. Evaluation techniques is categorized into response technique, that is interviews, written reactions, that is questionnaires or scales. Scales can be on 5 ratings, 5 pointers. It can be open-ended forms also. Projective techniques, group discussions and consensus reports. Here all the data when collected, so this is on the basis of the reactions of the trainees for that particular training program. Then there are secondary source data, which are also known as unobtrusive measures. That is mainly on observations. Reactive if subjects are aware. Indicators and indexes. Absenteeism rates. If we find that, for example, an particular employee is absent for frequent absenteeism is seen within the training sessions, or maybe we find it as an indicator where after the training, they are more, it increases the rate of absenteeism. So it can be seen like that. Organizational studies, job behavior evaluation, cost benefit analysis, and human resource accounting, which is also known as human resource HRA. Four modes of training are training, which is for one is in current role, research when it is of multiple roles. When we talk about consulting, it is more related with the teams. It is team building or maybe change management when we see from leadership or a transformational partners. Organization-wide learning and learning organization, these are very interrelated terms where the learning type is referred to as single loop learning in organization learning, and learning organization is double loop learning. Single loop learning refers to finding the errors, whereas the double loop learning is more beyond finding the error and to modify and find out the techniques to rectify that. Change impact is seen as incremental and transformational in these terms of organization-wide learning and learning organization. Learning level is low in organizational-wide learning, and in LO it is higher learning. Adaptability is generative in LO, whereas in OL it is adaptive. Focus is tactical, whereas in LO it is more strategic. Learning frequency is continuous, whereas in organization-wide learning is occasional. We have talked about the performance appraisal, career management. We also talk about the training and development. But unless we haven't talked about the compensation and reward system, which is the most important part of an employee as well as an organization. Compensation benefit not only attracts talent, it retains the employees, motivates performance, and control cost of an organization. The objectives is not only to enable the employees to earn a good and reasonable salary or wages, but also to pay the equitable sums to different individuals and avoid the anomalies between that, to reward and encourage high quality work and output. Employees to develop better methods, because it is seen that if an employees are better paid or suitable paid employees work with more enthusiasm. It discourages wastage of material and equipment to encourage employees with their initiatives and discretions as well. It discourages overtime working unless it is essential. Dale Beach gave 7 principles of compensation administration, which includes a clear-cut plan. It includes a clear-cut plan of setting wages based on job roles and responsibilities, align the salary structure with the industry norms and the labor market. He said, ensure wages are determined by job replacements rather than personal factors. Also maintain fairness by providing equal pay for similar roles. Implement performance-based rewards to acknowledge differences. Establish a transparent system for addressing employees' concerns relating to wages and keeping employees and unions informed about the wage determinants processes to foster trust and clarity so that it may not lead to union management differences. Compensation determinants are further bifurcated into product market competition and labor market competition. Product market compensations are impact on high labor cost. It may increase to product prices, reducing competitiveness, whereas the labor market competition leads to lower pay levels and also lead to the talent shortage, while competitive pay ensures a skilled workforces, where the companies actually compete to attract and retain skilled employees. Compensation structure in India, when we talk about the basic wages, there is a basic wage ensuring worker sustenance and efficiency. Dearness allowance refers to the cost of living. Flat rate DA is fixed amount paid to all employees regardless of wage scale. CPI is Consumer Price Index, which is adjusted periodically or based on the inflation. DA is paid on slabs of wage levels, whereas it is upper limit. Overtime payment, it is based on the additional pay for extra hours, and annual bonus is paid on as per the statutory payment of bonus act. As per the act, this is an annual amount. Executive compensation is a sound system of for the high paid employees. It basically, it is the executive compensation. The idea behind is to attract the right person and to retain the high end employees, where the payments are in form of medical care, professional services in legal and financial matters, company recreational services. They give the benefits of, for example, for the clubs or for some subscriptions, the cost and training of execution, the sponsored programs are there from the organization to top institutes, free well furnished accommodations, conveyance, holidays, etc. Reward system refers to the important attributes of work organization in its ability to give rewards to their every member. Pay, promotion, fringe benefits, or status symbols are part of reward system. Principles of getting an effective reward system in an organization make the reward system organization make it simple to understand. Reward and recognition go hand in hand. The reward systems has to be fair and effective. It ensures that the participation should also be there in the reward system, and it empower the entire organization. The rewards and incentives are financial incentives, skill-based, merit-based, profit sharing, gain sharing, stock options, and even sometimes the employee ownership or the employee shares. There are certain statutory and voluntary benefits which are legally. Statutory means legally mandated benefits that are given to the employees to provide and governed by labor law and regulations. Some of the acts are Employee State Insurance Act, Provident Fund Act 1952, Maternity Leave Benefit Act 1961, Gratuity Act 1972, whereas the voluntary benefits are employer's discretion on the basis of the employee well-being. It includes the vacations, holidays, education, sponsored programs, training and executive education, employee discounts, even sometimes the gym memberships or the club memberships, health insurance, life insurance, subsidized meals, or maybe the even the educational assistance on very prime courses. There are certain voluntary benefits which are optional and adjusted based on budget, whereas statutory are mandate. That is non-negotiable. This is as per the law of an India. There are the fixed benefit that has to be given as per the law to the employees. So overall, when we talk about all these 4 units, performance appraisal, career development, compensation management, and training development, which helps not only the employees to set the performance or to find out the gap for the employee growth or designing the salary structure, incentives, on self-motivation, or when we talk about an individual level to enhance the employees' skills and knowledge, it definitely benefits the organization on the whole to reach their goals aligned with their individual goals, and that can be identified and can be first then done by performance appraisal and aligned with the career development, identified by training developments, and the compensation management has to be designed and aligned as per the career development processes, and the training development needs the continuous development and adaptability of an organization as well as the self growth of the employees. The performance appraisal has to be done non-biased, not only to improve the productivity of an employees, but also the productivity of an organization on the whole. The career development is not only about the future career planning, but also by retention of aligning personal aspirations with organizational objectives of an individual. Compensation management is not only about designing the salary structures or incentives and benefits, but also to motivate and retain employees. Certain statutory and voluntary benefits need to be included. Statutory, they have organizations should follow the laws and rules and regulations, and along with that, even the employees should be aware of their rights and the laws which can be implemented in an organization. Before joining an organization, training and development activities can also be assessed to get into the best of the organization, not only for the personal growth but also for the overall organization goal, which leads to the economy growth on the whole. Thank you so much for today. Namaste.